Inravio.com.
Every time the beat drop.
There's something playing in my headphones right now. Hey everybody, what's happening? I have like the Game of Thrones theme song in my mic pack right now.
Serious?
It's actually kind of nice. It's making this very epic. I wonder if the audience can hear that.
How is that happening?
I don't know, but it's getting me. It's like when you listen to the Inception soundtrack while you shoveled snow in your driveway.
Oh, how do you remember that?
I don't know, but it's very much giving me
That was fun.
exciting.
That was a really good workout.
I'm getting a feedback loop in my headset right now. I think one of the TVs are on. But thank you so much for watching. You're watching Save and Continue. It is 7:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking about video games, technology, all that fun stuff like we are every week. And yeah, it's been a busy week as always. We've got some VR news, which I'm always excited about. I got my hands on a game I've been wanting to play for a while, which was excellent. And we got some NX news and a bunch of other stuff that I really care about. So we'll start as we always do. Is there anything that you're captivated by playing?
I was booked with Life Memorial Week, so I just
Don't you hate when
couldn't.
life gets in the way? It's the worst.
I really want to play Far Harbor. I think I might actually do that tonight. I might finally jump back on Fallout 4 and play it. I've heard great things about it. Kind of harkens back to Point Lookout a bit from Fallout 3, which was one of my favorite DLCs. So I'll let you know how that is when I get around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what about you?
DLC's great. I got to play the new Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
At what, James's house?
Yes, yeah. It was the PlayStation's always doing those fantastic demos and everything. It was great. It really because I was always like, I loved the idea of like the new platformers making a resurgence of sorts. And this is definitely the game to do it. It was really fun. It's gorgeous. Like not obviously the same aesthetics and style as like Uncharted or the Nathan Drake games as far as like pure realisticness, but it's got that nice like coated candy style to it where everything's colorful. The only thing that bummed me out was that at least the version I was playing was 30 frames per second. And that, at least with the chaos of Ratchet and Clank, of when you hit somebody, they drop like 15 bolts, like coins kind of, that you collectibles and stuff. There's so much happening on screen at once that it kind of sucked having it 30 frames per second. Because there was no like frame rate lag or anything, but it was just one of those moments of, wow, this game would really shine in 60 frames per second. Because there's so much movement and jumping and everything, obviously with platformers. Platformers especially, I feel like would excel. As they're built for 60 frames per second.
If I'm not mistaken, I actually believe the new Final Fantasy coming out later this year, which we've talked about.
I got some news about that as well.
Awesome.
Good, lots of news.
I'm excited to talk about that.
8 specific pieces of news.
Cool. Yeah, that's more my stuff. But like, I know it's going to be. I think it's going to be 30 frames per second as well.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I for shooters, I think it's more of a you need it these days with shooters. But with certain games, I really don't think it's a make or break. So I'm not too concerned about it, but that is interesting. I did not realize it was 30 frames per second.
At least what I was playing. I don't know if it's different.
Something I forgot to add. I haven't played anything new. What I was doing briefly, I think it was the other night, or it was during the day. I had a lot of free time and I was bored. I was watching on YouTube just random clips from and story pieces from Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Oh, I watched that bunch
after our conversation last episode. I'm like, I gotta go back and I just gotta I can't play the game right now.
Sure.
To the extent that I would probably want to in order to experience it all over again. So it was so nice just like seeing just the moments of the game that really made it one of my favorite series. And it's cool also looking at the different ways that you could go about the story and have never seen it before. You know what I mean? Like so there's so many fresh dialogue options and everything like that.
And it's one of the beauties of the game is that it was one of the true games of like a different playthrough is a totally different game.
I felt like I was just viewing like old friends, like I was like like old footage of things, like oh man, like Rex, like and everybody had their own unique personality, and I freaking and there were so many funny moments from Mass Effect that I completely missed out on in my own playthrough. And it's
agreed.
just and that's something I don't think we really touched upon last time is that the comedy in Mass Effect. I think
I don't know. We've given Scientist Solarian. We've given it. We've acknowledged at least.
Well,
the
yeah, no,
comedy,
but I know,
you
but I'm saying, but besides that, yes, it has some memorable, touching pieces like that. But I'm talking about like there's some legitimately laugh out loud sections that I was like, you got to be kidding me! I can't believe I missed out on this.
It's funny you said I just binged through a bunch of it's Mass Effect videos, but there's very old Machinima YouTube poop videos.
Oh God!
So there's.
Well, bang.
I can't even repeat my favorite lines. So
I love it.
I'll have to show it to you.
No, I've already seen them.
Yeah,
you don't need to.
The
I
guy
understand.
re-edits everything in the series.
Right?
What's up?
Manslayers.
There's one of the many. There's lots of it, but the My Eyes one, the contact lenses ones, like my eyes, I have special eyes. But I'm still barreling through Mass Effect 1 right now, thoroughly enjoying it. Again, like they said, it got tidied up mechanics wise, and it's just far more enjoyable. Still. It really is bad how bad the AI is. Like that really becomes a negative for me, where it's just like big battles coming in, and like you could do whatever you need to do as far as giving them skill points. Like I'm manually skilling up my squad mates, whereas before I would just auto everything. But I'm that involved in this playthrough, and it still makes no difference. Like they still just, hey, go to that point, and he'll run to that point, but he won't take cover behind that wall. He'll just stand up. It's so rudimentary.
You want to know something funny? It's
very disappointing.
Look, one of the biggest controversies, and I don't want to talk about this for too long because we talked about a crap ton of Mass Effect last time. But honestly, I would never have a problem with that. I feel that the people that complain about how Mass Effect, the jump from 1 to 2, how there was a lack of RPG elements, how it was more toned down and simplified, which they are right.
You're saying that about Mass Effect 2 compared to 1?
Yes.
Yes.
The truth is, I don't really think that's the case because Mass Effect 1, it's not that intricate of an RPG. It's not. Your skill points, they really aren't that there's not that many places you could put it into. There's not that much decision making.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're 100% right.
So whenever I heard that conversation online, oh, Mass Effect 2 got too actiony, there's not enough RPG, I'm like, dude, it's like the same game. They just took out the BS. That it was almost like it was a pseudo RPG, the first one. Like it had the RPG story elements and the character progression and story choices. But as for the actual gameplay mechanics, as far as character building with your skills, it really wasn't that intricate. It wasn't.
One of the many reasons why I didn't enjoy my first playthrough of it, especially after playing the second one, where I'm just like, the second one is just everything the first one was, but better. There's arguably more RPG elements, and they made the combat fun. Like it was a pseudo.
The combat huge.
They made the combat great, and I was like, wow, I'm actually enjoying a gunfight in Mass Effect right now. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Rach, what's happening, bud? Mass Effect AI was just
It got good though.
It got great. But in the first one, it's just like I'll die, and I'm just like, damn. Like I really want to finish Mass Effect 1, but they are making this hard on me. And now I don't know how I finished it the first playthrough because none of this combat was tight. Like there was a bunch of glitches in the first one I played, but that tacked onto the AI. Like I don't know how I got through the first one because I hated it, and it's like even playing it again now and enjoying it so much more. It's still kind of like, dude, I'm like powering through this just so I can get to the second one. It's much like how I'm playing Dead Space 1 going, you know what, Dead Space 2 is going to be great. Like, this game is okay, but I'm doing this to get to Dead Space 2.
Yeah, Dead Space 1, I got a little repetitive too, but I will say...
I'm in the later part of the game right now. That's exactly where I'm just like, I did everything already. Just wrap the story up. Like, it was fun, it was great, but at this point, it's just the same thing.
Yeah, Dead Space 1 did not have nearly the same excitement in the set pieces as the second one did. The second one...
Yeah,
exactly. Cliche is a good word.
It's like, we're saved! Oh no, the Marine ship got infected, and it's just like, God,
the second one had a lot...
alien trope
It had a lot of really memorable moments.
Super excited for the second one. I'm really, really excited. That's co-op, correct, too, right?
No, it's the third one is co-op, yeah.
That's great. That's another reason for me to be excited for the following title.
And I'd play it with you if I could, to be honest.
There are so many pros to the second. It's great. Yeah, no, Mass Effect 2 is my favorite video game, hands down, from the... I keep getting this wrong. Prologue's first, right? And then it's epilogue?
Yes.
Yes, I keep mixing the two. From the prologue to the epilogue of that game, I was jaw to the floor captivated. Like, this Mass Effect for me was just... It's so good, and I played it again as Femship. I'm playing Femship right now.
I think we're probably going to talk about Mass Effect a lot until Andromeda comes out.
I need to.
Because, you know, we're getting so close. Now that Andromeda has an official release date, it does, right?
Yeah, it's got like we're releasing quarter this quarter.
Yeah. Now that it has
specific date.
kind of official
We have a
release
vicinity.
date. it's going to be my most anticipated game by far, next to
I'm just so curious.
Final Fantasy 15 and the new Zelda.
You know what? Let's talk about Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, please. Let's bring that up.
Great transition, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle.
This is actually news to me.
Yeah. So I actually got this planned out
the milk
because
is bad,
I
by the
have
way.
absolutely no reference to any of these. These seem like very technical things that people that are big fans of Final Fantasy would go, "Oh, thank God they're including this," but isn't necessarily game breaking. So what we're gonna do is, because I have no references, we're just gonna cut to the solo shot of Frankie, and I'm just going to list off everything, and we're gonna judge how impactful this is based on his expression. So we'll see how much yeah, okay, that's great.
right,
that's
let's do
great.
it.
So
get a new
that wasn't a
haircut, too.
random
It's perfect.
transition. That was a great transition. Don't give me that. All right, so here's our 8 more bits, brand new released information about Final Fantasy from Square Enix's recent active time report. All right, so number 1, we're gonna cut to Frankie's shot because I have no reference to any of this.
You like my new haircut?
It looks great on camera. You look fantastic.
Yes.
Number 1, you are completely capable of crashing your flying car during takeoff and landing. And apparently, according to creators, it is not difficult to do that.
Because you can transform your car into a flying
See, I
vehicle.
have no
You didn't know this?
No.
Well, how would that sentence make sense to you?
It
then?
doesn't. That's why I said cut to the solo shot. I have no reference point to any of
All right,
this.
let me.
That's why it's on you the whole
Let
time.
me give you the lowdown on that.
Okay, go.
Basically,
Yeah, these are things I don't
You
know.
have this really cool car that
Yes.
you and your homies drive in, and basically what happens is that
Giant sword
wings
homies.
come out like that, and it basically becomes a flying vehicle, and that's really cool that it pretty much allows you to just fly anywhere. So it's cool. It's kind of taking that old
Sure.
Final Fantasy trope.
Was
where
it
you can
on
fly
rails
around.
previously? Were you ever actually able to navigate the
No,
cars
I
the
mean
first time you
most
got to it?
vehicles in the previous Final Fantasy games were flying airships.
Ew, 'cause I know nothing.
So
Yeah.
it
I saw a
and-
GIF of the car turning into a flying thing.
Yeah, no.
That's
Well,
about
there you
all I
go.
know.
So
Yeah.
that's really cool. That's awesome. I mean, it's exciting.
Ketro Burn, can I lick your face? You absolutely can.
Anytime.
We're at Inravio Studios. We're in New York. It's on Long Island. You can head down here. Just give a knock on the door. Come on down. Lick.
Are
You're
you a
on your way.
woman?
What?
Are you a woman? Woman.
I didn't ask that. Number 2, you can save in other places other than your campsite. These seem like very technical things, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, it depends. We really don't know how the gameplay is yet, so I
Sure.
don't know. Like, if we want more survival-esque, I guess that would change.
Number
it, but-
3, characters cannot climb. I don't think that was ever a Final Fantasy thing. Oh my God. So you can see the sarcasm in that. Number 4, you cannot steer in-game boats. There's boats in the game? I don't know that one.
I guess.
Number 5,
There
you can
has
listen
been
to
boats.
Final Fantasy tunes on the car radio as you drive, much like in
That's
Grand
pretty
Theft Auto.
badass.
Okay.
It's like, do you know what that reminds me of? Like Project Gotham Racing back in the day? You can
Oh man, that was like the first Xbox game I played.
Yeah, Project Gotham Racing 2, you used to be able to put your own music on the Xbox One, the original Xbox One, hard drive, and you could listen to your tunes in the while you were driving. It was cool.
Tunes, I don't think it'll ever be as good as
I will
GTA.
say this, I don't know what Final Fantasy music they're going to play, hopefully the originals, but
I
I
imagine they'd have a whole
love...
slew of stuff going. This
Yeah, I
seems
hope
like
so.
not only like a new Final Fantasy game, but kind of like a nod to the whole series.
Well,
Like,
I
we're
mean,
still here.
That's what they're really...
I'm shocked this isn't called Final Fantasy.
Well, we'll see how
You know?
they were expressing how much they were really having so many different developers from the past games, work on this as kind of this collaboration. Those nods are. I hope they're there. And the music, I mean, Nobuo. I always butcher his name, but the composer of the old Final Fantasy games, Nobuo Uematsu. He is one of my favorite composers of all time. Huge influence on me. So it's always nice to hear his music if they are going to have that in the game.
Well, it sounds like you'll be able to cycle through on your own whim, which is great.
Yeah,
Especially if
it's
like
cool.
traveling in the car is going to be like a big element in this. 2 more. 7, there'll be skill trees for each individual character, including your own.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much
Expected.
granted. And finally, this one I have zero reference to. Cars will travel faster than chocobos? Chocobos?
Kokobo?
Chocobos.
Kokobo.
Don't look at me like, oh, come on,
It's
man.
a Kokobo.
Don't do that face.
You guys know that.
Don't give me that face. Like that is common
Yeah,
knowledge.
no, I mean, I would hope so. It's a freaking car. I mean, I don't know how quick Kokobos are supposed to be.
I didn't know
you,
Kokobo.
You make them mate and they
I
race
thought that was
each
a
other.
motorcycle or something. What is that, an animal?
No, dude, the Kokobo?
I don't.
Do you know what a Moogle is?
No, I've literally
This
never
guy doesn't know
played.
what a Moogle is.
This is why I got beat up in high school. I
cat-
don't understand. What,
Cactar? You don't know what Cactar is either?
Oh man, this
This
is
is a
all,
video game show. What are you doing
I know,
here?
right? I feel a little out of the loop right now. But were any of those the like?
No, nothing was
These
surprising.
again, this is from an active time report, so this is kind of just like their
This
business.
seems like this seems like just little tidbits. I mean, it's nothing too jaw dropping, but
Yeah, I feel like most of this is kind of like, oh, good, that'll be back.
No, I'm excited about really everything I think they're going to be introducing. I'm just hoping I'm hoping the gameplay and the pace of the story and the game itself is going to be fluid and just not, I don't want it to get boring at any point, like I never personally played Final Fantasy 13, so I really can't give a valid opinion on it, but I know that it was more or less a linear hallway game where you're pretty much just going one direction, and it was pretty boring and the characters were pretty, lame from what I've heard.
I got no
so
reference point.
That's just from what, popular consensus. But
Feels you.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm excited. Like I said, I
I'm
would
excited.
kind of want like this seems like a hopefully this is a Final Fantasy. I could players that have never touched Final Fantasy could dip into.
Well, Final Fantasy now more than ever. I mean, I feel like it relates to anime more than ever now.
Definitely some elements.
So like you and I both being anime fans, I think it's something you could definitely get into if the characters end up being likable. So we'll see what happens.
I think that's what it comes down to more.
Yeah,
or less.
and
Final
so
Fantasy,
far-
from the little I know, it seems like at least their characters are some of the most memorable and.
Yeah, they can be.
Like I do know
yeah.
what Cloud is, like obviously, like if
Well,
like
I mean, Cloud. I feel like Cloud's more. He's more iconic because of how he looks and his sword. I mean,
When I
his
think him,
personality is pretty.
as someone who knows nothing about
basic.
Final Fantasy, when someone says Final Fantasy and they're like, "Who's the main character?" I would respond with Cloud, and then the Sephiroth. He's the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. We're gonna take a break, but before we do, let's just get through a little bit of Nintendo stuff, and then we'll come back to some more Nintendo stuff.
Okay.
So Nintendo has changed their E3 plans. Originally, Nintendo was slated to have literally.
What a twist.
Literally, the only thing they were going to have for E3 this year was the new Legend of Zelda. That will still be the only playable game available from Nintendo, but E3 is just like downgrading like crazy right now. Like there's like developers and publishers debating if it's even worth cost-effective wise to go to E3 at this point, because everybody and their mother is just throwing their own conferences at this point. Like EA's got their own thing. Nintendo has abandoned their direct conference and everything. So.
But to be honest, what does Nintendo really have to show at this point? I mean, all they have
the NX, but they already said they're not going to show it.
Right, and Zelda's the only thing they have at this point. I mean, we've talked about this so many times. There's so many IPs they have, and like there's so little usage.
I mean, it makes sense.
Where's the new Metroid Prime?
Seriously, no, that's.
I need that.
Let's not frustrate ourselves, because I'm still waiting on Pokemon Snap for Wii U. So don't even give me that. So they changed their plans. Originally, they were literally just going to have Legend of Zelda. So again, that's going to be the only thing playable. But they're going to have they have their famous Nintendo Treehouse, which is a live stream they do.
Yes.
They will be having that again during E3 this year for their June 14th to June 15th. And they're showing a few more things. Nothing crazy, obviously, but there's actually some, depending on who you are, this could be big for you. Day one, which begins at 9 a.m., the live stream, they'll be showing Legend of Zelda for the Wii U, obviously, as well as, again, for if you care, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, the new Pokemon games.
I would care if I still played Pokemon.
I think for Pokemon fans, this is a huge announcement.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know they were working on Moon and
They're
Sun.
up to, I think they're up to like 750 something Pokemon now. Like it's
crazy.
So
And it's
80,
still just, if not more popular in Japan than it was. Like crazy to me. But yeah, then day two, which begins at 10 a.m., they will have, they'll be showing footage, or at least trailers, teasers, something of Monster Hunter Generations, Dragon Quest, I can't read Roman numerals, V11.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, jeez, 7.
7, thank you. Make me feel like an idiot. Fragments of the Forgotten Past, Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE, and I don't care about any of that, but at the beginning of the stream, they'll have a special Q&A with the developers of Pokemon Go. Cool. Which would be very interesting.
I'm a little intrigued by that.
They're rolling out more and more information. It's getting exciting. We're starting to see screenshots and videos of it. So it's down the lane, and everything they showed so far, while still remaining reserved, not overexcite myself, it looks great. Like it looks like, I don't want to say the Pokemon game we've always wanted, but as far as like geolocation goes and mobile use of games, I can't think of a better franchise than Pokemon for that. Just because you go to the water, you find a water element. It's just great. We talked about it enough. But so yeah, Nintendo will be back at E3 with a few more things than we thought, but still nothing critical. NX will not be there. And I'm so curious because they're showing Legend of Zelda for the Wii U, but that also will be available for the Nintendo NX upon its release. And it's just, Like, why show a worse version of the game?
They've done this.
I know.
You know they've done this
I
before.
know. It bears repeating. It just bears repeating.
Twilight Princess had the same treatment.
Exactly. And that didn't go so well. Twilight Princess wasn't beloved.
No, it was a love or hate it or lukewarm.
I can't remember the last Zelda release I was actually excited.
I'll tell you what, Twilight
Wind
Princess.
Waker, maybe.
Twilight Princess had a lot going for it. As far as I liked the look of Twilight Princess.
Couldn't finish it, personally.
I finished it. I liked how more expressive the characters were. I liked how the worlds felt more quote unquote realistic, darker. You know, because I'm a huge Majora's Mask fan. And I like how it was closer to that than Wind Waker, and especially I love Wind Waker to death. But you know, I guess the token modern Zelda style is something that I definitely like. So I feel like Twilight Princess had a lot going for it. I just thought it was a little too easy when it came out. I know that the new one released like a harder version of it.
To me, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe it was a
could have been
2
better.
hour.
It wasn't a masterpiece.
No,
There are people out there that will say Twilight Princess is like the best.
And I don't
Zelda,
want to say it's a poor video game by any stretch or means of it. It's just, it was just, I was not
had some good
interested
music,
enough
too.
at all to finish it. I was just like, I don't really want to play as a wolf.
I
This
enjoyed
princess
it.
lady's bothering the hell out of me. Like, I don't know. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the 2.5 hour tutorial at the beginning where you randomly wandered around your village.
It was a little slow.
It was a little slow.
A little slow.
I mean, I know Legend of Zelda games usually ramp up.
I'm very
but
when it comes to tutorials.
Damn.
When it comes to the tutorials, I'm very patient, so I really didn't mind it too much.
I don't know, I think there's ways that I wouldn't. I always thought Gears of War's tutorial, the original, was kind of lengthy, and I loved that tutorial because you could do 2 different routes depending on your play.
Yeah,
It
it
was
builds
great.
up anticipation.
Exactly. There was no anticipation builds for Legend of Zelda for me, at least. But anyway, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got some more information about Nintendo that I'm super duper excited to talk about. Some information about The Division, which I know, it's interesting.
Is it bad I forgot that the Division existed?
No, not at all.
Division?
But this
Division?
is you'll be
Division?
excited for this
Division.
more, I think. And then we got a couple more bits of information. So stay with us. You're watching Save and Continue. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. We love you. Please don't go.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
Hey, we're back. It is 7:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're at Inravio Studios, still talking about video games, technology, all that fun stuff. We just talked about Nintendo being at E3 in a larger force than originally anticipated, and we got some information about the NX. These are rumors, but they are coming from several reputable sources, so we're going to repeat them anyway, but I want to add the disclaimer on top of this that, again, these are rumors. Apparently, the Nintendo NX has been delayed once again, and the result of this has been to not only improve overall system specifications, but according to Digitech reporting, which is a reputable source, who has reported accurately on several other hardware updates before. Part of this is because they plan on integrating VR technology into the Nintendo NX to give it a leg up on the other consoles. This is, by the way, for a great story, you can go to VRScout.com. There's a whole great feature on the whole thing to get the update on all the specifics about it. We know nothing about the Nintendo NX at this point, other than that it promises to be some kind of console, handheld, hybrid system. Don't call it a console. Basically it's being delayed again. I don't have the specific date for it, but supposedly, according to Digitech, it's because they'll be integrating some kind of VR technology into the handheld portion of the device. Now, this would be a very big deal because that would mean every major mainstream console will have VR integration if the reports about Xbox One supposedly trying to form some kind of partnership with Oculus Rift is correct. That would mean that's a PSVR on PlayStation 4. The Oculus Rift would be on the Xbox One. The the NX would have some form of head-mounted display. I'm thinking they maybe, since they're moving towards the mobile genre, kind of just integrate all these awesome mobile headsets that are coming out, because Android's making their own from Google. The iOS, Apple's apparently working on their own as well. There's a bunch of amazing third-party ones. The Samsung Gear is fantastic. So it'll be interesting to see if they roll out their own independent headset. Highly doubt that. And it kind of seems like every other VR manufacturer is either tied up in their own thing or partnered with someone else.
Did you see what's going on here? I mean, it makes sense to me because
it makes total sense.
With recent reports of Microsoft and Sony both releasing new versions of their console next year, it almost like this is like another console launch all over again. You know what I mean? Like it feels like this is like
VR in itself is
you know what I'm
it's its own industry.
So
it's absolutely
it feels like everything's kind of aligning into this just a new console generation.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though it's just like an upgrade.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone that disagrees with what you just said. This is VR might as well, for all intents and purposes, be its own console release, and it's not been going well. So it's a very rocky console release.
Yeah,
Oculus Rift still isn't in the hands of pre-order people. They're like, we're releasing it at Best Buy. 5 units, which sold out almost immediately at Best Buy's. The HTC Vive is the only one currently that's actually succeeding. And right now, surprisingly to some people, not to me, mobile VR is kicking butt right now. Mobile is great. They got a new Google VR-based headsets being announced, and it's got its own touch controller for motion tracking with your hand. And with that and all the technology coming out, when the new Daydream operating system coming out for new cell phones for Android, like these phones are going to be able to power some impressive technology.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Nintendo, out of all three, could do the most interesting things with VR.
I feel as though with the Wii U and the Wii, yeah.
As far as what their IPs are, I think they could do some really, really cool stuff. Could you imagine, speaking of Metroid Prime, could you imagine Metroid Prime
VR
in VR?
I feel
my goodness.
I feel like they've almost been working their way towards this, more or less. I mean, maybe not intentionally, but just, I mean, look at the Wii. Like, the Wii is just, for any company looking to get into VR, like, you got a great start based off of that.
Even the new Star Fox, even Star Fox Zero, when they were trying to do the controls with the gamepad. With the extra screen, I think with VR, in the cockpit view, switching between that, I think that would be really, really cool.
I think this would be a great trend. I really hope, again, it's interesting because it's like every other head-mounted display manufacturer seems to be tied up legally. I really hope they integrate, if they do have VR, and this rumor is true, I hope it's done with mobile.
It has more potential than motion controls. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely, but I mean, I really hope it integrates with mobile. So basically, it's like, you have an iOS phone, or choose your head-mounted display. It's up to you. It's compatible with the NX. There's no cables. It doesn't weigh 10 freaking pounds on your face. I think that's one of the big things about VR right now is that, like, if you're going to go, hey, I want to play a VR game, you got to commit yourself to it. You're going to find your space, you're going to put the headset on, you're going to calibrate everything, get comfy, make sure you're good to go, all the stuff's out of your way, the cables are out of place. But with mobile VR, it's just so simple and easy. I think Nintendo's going this route, at least I'm hoping this is the case, of where they'll just be like, I'm going to sit down to play my NX right now. You know what? I'd like to do it with VR today. And it literally is as simple as Bluetooth connecting your headset and putting it on. I hope Nintendo goes the route of, we see all these guys doing this massive, amazing VR technology, immersion, cables everywhere, but we're going to go much like how kind of PSVR is going that route for was more consumer friendly. I'm hoping they make it accessible, more accessible than the other headsets.
Yeah,
because that option is still, that's why the PSVR exists and one of its most exciting ones. It doesn't cost nearly as much as the other guys. The cables are much, much less of a hassle. The technology is much, much lighter. It looks pleasant to look at. It's got built-in motion controls. PSVR serves an integral purpose in the growth of virtual reality, whereas like the Oculus and Vive are kind of just jiving for that top dog, who's going to be the #1 most expensive option, you know? And I hope Nintendo kind of slides in and goes, we got these great mobile head-mounted displays that everyone's kind of just treating as toys as an introduction to VR. Screw that. That could be an entirely possible to integrate into Nintendo, and just Nintendo will forever remain that constant company of like, we're here for the casuals as well. Like, we get it. You don't want to buy an $800 VR set. You want to play your Nintendo games with your iPhone slapped inside of a Google Cardboard.
Yeah, because VR could be very much a fun thing too. You know, what I mean? Like,
that's why you play it. I hope.
hardcore,
You know, right now there is no casual VR market. It's whereas gaming you can kind of go casual or slight fan or hardcore professional. VR is just hardcore. You're dropping hundreds of dollars to get into it, and you got to have a rig that runs it. Unless now with the consoles and everything, that's why it's exciting, because VR, like we said, as a console release, it's been rocky. It's been a rocky release, and this is really important so that VR doesn't become this second '90s era. Of
I'll tell you what,
I
don't know if we're ever gonna have a console release that's not gonna be rocky ever again.
No. We will absolutely.
I feel like it's been so long since we had a solid lineup of games for a new system and where nothing has gone wrong and everybody's satisfied. Like, I miss those days. That's what I do miss about gaming a few years ago. I mean, sure, I was younger, but at the same time, I know that we still had, more at our disposal as far as choices. You know what I mean? And quality games, because the software is what's going to make or break it for me. You know what I mean? As it should for anybody. It comes down to the software. The technology could be as cool as it could be, but if the software isn't up to snuff, then that's all that really matters. But with that said, I think there have been some good VR games that I've heard of that have definitely proved that VR, definitely could be something worth using. I mean, we mentioned that one horror game not too long ago with VR. Not Outlast 2. It was a different one. It was a full release.
Yeah, it's talking about the kitchen one, right?
No, I forget what it was called.
It's the kitchen one. That
no,
was
it's like you're in a maze or something like that. I forget what it is, but I heard it was really good. So I'm excited for VR. It's just, again, the software is what really has to impress me more than anything.
It's like I said when I first got to try. I've been lucky enough to try almost every variation of VR so far, and like for instance, I tried the Oculus Rift with a regular gamepad controller, and it's just, at least in my opinion, it's not impressive enough to warrant VR unless you're using some kind of motion capture system. Yeah. Just using the Vive with the 2 controllers as opposed to the gamepad with an Oculus is just, it's a make or break thing for me. I see the convenience in wanting to just sit down and use a gamepad like that, but at that point, that's such a middle ground for me. It's just like at that point, I'd be like, listen, I'm just going to play VR or I'm going to play a regular video game. I don't need this muddled mess in between, which is what I feel the Oculus is. And they can't even get the headsets into people's hands. Like, how the hell are they going to launch their Oculus motion controllers and everything? It's a rocky release. We're never going to see a perfect console release for the rest of our lives, obviously. But this is also a brand new industry. This is a brand new tech.
It is. No,
this needs to succeed.
I'm talking about, I guess.
This needs to succeed. It's very easily, this could be just another fad written off like the 90s had,
Yeah.
So easily.
I just don't want the industry to get in over its head again, because if we're even having a hard time just getting our software out properly. Like, look at Nintendo's lineup. There's barely anything.
Well, we're dealing with a lot. Again, I think it's sometimes we're going to sit back and realize that, again, what people are doing nowadays is so much more complicated than what they were doing 10 years ago. Technology progresses at faster and faster rate as years go on. But
even technology aside. People
want this Final Fantasy 15 game, and they want it, and then they announced the episodic portion of it, and everyone flipped their lids because it was episodic. For 7, and it's just like they're not remaking the same 7. The original Final Fantasy 7 probably was like a total of 2 gigs the whole game. They're doing HD remastering and all this stuff. Like, that's brand new technology. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of time. People don't pump out video games in 3 days like they used to with an Atari. And I'm not making excuses for game developers. I agree. take all the time you want. Delay the game as much as you need to. I mean, obviously, each time you do that, you're killing hype in No Man's Sky. But you're also making sure that you're getting a fully fleshed out product and release. And I would rather have that, honestly, anytime. So when everyone says something's been delayed, I'm like, good. You know what? They took the time to go, we're not just going to take in the cash immediately. We're going to release a full game, finished. And there can still be glitches and errors. People are human, obviously. And you're dealing with technology that's like, this is like the forefront of computer technology.
You know,
right
you're
now.
just talking. I can't stop thinking about Mass Effect Andromeda.
I'm sorry.
I really, no, I can't because I just.
You know what? Well, we talked about Mass Effect, or at least hopefully the idea is, since they're promising some kind of thing, is maybe adopting the.
We're gonna see something at E3.
Yes,
of course.
absolutely.
We need to be with each other for that.
Now you see why I miss the days of like
I know.
you took off school because it was like dude, they had the things
you put on
lined
your
up.
goofy boots and you watch some E3.
Popcorn, you sit there in your onesie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a onesie. You can get adult onesies.
got
They're
the flap and
expensive, but they're
everything.
worth it.
I've seen it.
We talked about hopefully, or maybe that the new Mass Effect Andromeda would kind of integrate some kind of Division, Destiny style, like kind of
they did it right.
MMO-ish.
If they did it right, but we both agreed that if they could do that.
No. I'm using that as a poor transition for the next topic. That's all. Speaking of the Division, looks like that. The Division movie has been announced. And so far, attached onto it for casting wise has been Jake Gyllenhaal.
Is this real?
Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, hold on. I have a different opinion than you.
Did you say you said Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal?
All right, please tell me this is real.
You didn't like Prince of Persia?
Dude, screw Jake Gyllenhaal.
I thought for what they were going to
Prince of Persia
do,
was not
my
great,
point is,
dude.
they're making a Division movie. Jake Gyllenhaal's attached to as the cast and the producer. Why? Stop. Why wouldn't you want a Division movie?
Because there's nothing to it. The worst part of the Division was probably the narrative and just the you said it yourself, like, oh,
Yes.
it's another thing set in New York. You know, I feel like the Division was kind of limited by its setting. I feel like if it was just in a different setting, in a different kind of, I guess, atmosphere or game, as far as, you know, story goes, I think it would have been a much better experience. It was just very, you know, your cliche, like, the terrorists are attacking this bio, you know, something, whatever, like, and then there's just stupid reasons for you to go around and just do stuff. Like, it was very shallow. Like, they tried to add some kind of narrative background, to add some kind of depth to the game, which is okay, but it's not deserving of a story. And Jake Gyllenhaal, to be honest, like, I have nothing against the guy personally. I don't like talking ill.
You see Nightcrawler?
No.
He's great. He's a great movie. He's fantastic in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought the same. I was kind of in the same boat as far as like Jake Gyllenhaal.
I have nothing against Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's
It's just
great.
listen. No, let me reiterate.
The guy can act.
I think it's just Prince of Persia that I have.
Sure.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal. I think Prince of Persia. I'm just like, I don't care.
That
care.
movie, I'm not saying it's good. It could have been a lot worse than what it was. That's what I'm saying. When I
So
watched
good of
it,
a lot
I
of
was like,
things.
wow, okay. I was expecting to tear this movie apart. It was still bad, but it wasn't like as bad. It wasn't Yul Boll directing bad.
Uwe
Boll.
Uwe
I say his name
Boll.
incorrectly out of insult. Every reason you just said is why I think it's perfect for a movie. The Division sets up this, and again, I don't know how much do you actually know about. I know the narrative is shallow. How much do you actually know about it though, like story-wise?
I know that there's a.
Did you ever see the E3 announcement video that they basically laid out the whole universe?
Well, that's what got me hyped up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This scenario, this setting, with the exception that it's based in New York City, because I'm tired of it, is prime for a movie because there is no narrative. The Division sets up this very. You can say what you want about being shallow. I totally agree with that. There's not nearly enough to do in the Division universe for a video game.
Why call it the Division? Why make a Division movie?
Because the universe is, you say what you want about it, but it sets up a great tone that Tom Clancy games are known for. And this is my point. Yes, it is shallow, and it's repetitive, and it doesn't work as a video game. But as a movie, I could totally see this being adapted correctly. Here's what I think. Wait.
All right, shoot. I'm
The
listening.
Division is shallow. It basically has no narrative, and that's what makes it perfect. Basically, they set up this scenario about how they did this big test run about what would happen if New York City basically collapsed, and then they installed the Division program as a basically counter movement if this scenario ever was realized. And that basically set up sleeper cell agents and all these like plans and things for like contingencies. And the villains, because in the game there is no narrative, but you can go to just certain parts of the game and find like notes, or they're basically video feeds. And like for one of them is like, I walked up to a cop car and there's blood covered in the cop car, and the cop car was destroyed. And The Division is gorgeous if you've seen it. And inside of it there was like this monitor thing, and I clicked it and this video played, and it was like a dash cam of the cops. And it showed them go into this back alley, like fighting crime as like the disease was taking hold. And it introduced like one of the factions of the villains. Like one of them is a bunch of firefighters who are just chaos, basically. Joker from the Batman Begins series, where he's just, anarchy for the sake of anarchy. One of them is a guy that's basically starting his own private militia. Another one is a gang from Rikers, where they got all the prisoners together. And say what you will, but again, look into this if you don't think so. They really do set up some very, very interesting villains. Again, there's not enough to happen. You kill the main villains, and basically the next villain in that group is the same exact guy. But they set up some really interesting factions as far as these firefighter guys, these Rikers Island jail guys, this dude starting his own private military. It sets up a very interesting universe.
Well, you purchased the Division
for a cent.
For a cent.
For 1 cent.
So you've.
I played it. I've dipped my toes in it. Like I said, it's not enough for me to continue playing it as a video game. But a 2-hour movie with the correct narrative inserted into this universe, absolutely. Just like I would love a Last of Us movie.
I would love a Splinter Cell movie.
But don't give me. What are the characters of Last of Us? I never really.
Joel and Ellie.
But don't give me I don't want to follow the same thing I followed in that. Give me Last of Us, same universe. Give me a story following some of the soldiers from the Fireflies. They set up this beautiful universe, and that game happens to have a great universe and a great narrative. The Division, in my opinion, these are all opinions, has a great universe and a terrible narrative, and I think that's why it's almost prime for a movie. This game, this story is an adaptation from a Tom Clancy story that was amazing because it worked as a book, it worked as a novel. It doesn't work as a video game. I could totally see this working as a movie if you attached the correct narrative. A great narrative inserted into this interesting universe could be amazing. It's shallow. I 100% agree with you. That's why I feel like there's that empty space where if they inserted this great, like imagine if The Division had a great story. It'd be a great game. I love the universe. I love the villains they have. I love the factions they have. I thoroughly enjoy it. I just get bored after 3 or 4 hours because there's just not enough campaign-wise to keep me interested. Give me a solid narrative, 2.5 hours, 2 hours inside the Division universe. I would go watch that.
I just don't see why. I mean, I guess because The Division is popular enough to warrant a movie, I guess.
I'm a little shocked as well
but
that this was announced.
I'd rather have a Splinter Cell movie or something. Like, hell, even Rainbow Six.
Well, we were supposed to have a Tom Hardy-led Splinter Cell movie.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, but Leonardo DiCaprio convinced him otherwise so that he could go shoot The Revenant. So we were this close. We were this close.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, no, real.
Wow.
Maybe we'll still get one, but I want Tom Hardy now as Sam Fisher. He's perfect. Mm-hmm. But I think that's why I like this idea so much, because the Division is so shallow, and it's just like, it's one of those games, much like the Destiny, where it's like, like Destiny, you came so close. Like when I initially played it with James and a couple of squad mates, like I went in and played, and I'm like, is this fun? It feels kind of fun. But the fact that I had to ask that was concerning. Same thing with Division. I walked in, I played it, I'm like, this is fun.
That's what I heard.
Is this fun? Like, it's kind of fun. And I feel like that kind of indecision boiled down to there's not enough in the campaign to keep me interested. So, you know what? This could easily be a terrible, terrible movie if the narrative's terrible. But you insert a good story. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's been impressing me lately acting-wise. Again, it's the writing. Jake Gyllenhaal could be the best actor ever or the worst actor.
I have nothing against Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. It's just I think Prince of Persia.
Blame the writing then. You know what I'm saying? Like Jake Gyllenhaal, if you can separate script and editing and directing and starring,
that was him in Donnie Darko. I love Donnie Darko.
He did not put on a bad performance in Prince of Persia. The movie was bad, the writing was bad, but for what he was given, it wasn't terrible. Just from like an actor's point of view, it wasn't bad.
You know what just came out? And I thought of you because it was our last official Let's Play.
Oh God, what was this?
The Dead Island definitive.
Oh yes, it did.
I actually want to get it because I wouldn't mind going through Dead Island again, and it would give me an excuse to play Riptide and actually beat Riptide because we barely scratched the surface of Riptide. I did not play. I didn't play Riptide past, those.
I mean,
few episodes
unless I
we
was playing co-op, I would have no desire to play through Riptide. Like it's
What? No,
fun.
it would be co-op.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fun as co-op, but it's just like, we're back on the same island, and it's just like.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Riptide, I was interested in it. I just think at the time it just wasn't for me. Like, I liked how they integrated the boat element to it. I think it was really cool. I love jungle setting. Like, I loved how
I think maybe
Riptide-
that's why I like the jungle. Dead Island, I say it every time. It's one of the few games where the first level is my favorite because I
Well, that's
loved
beach.
The beach.
The jungle's later on.
No,
in
that's what I
that.
mean. That's
Yeah.
one of the. I loved the beach. It's my favorite
so
location.
good.
It was just.
Oh my God.
Like first level zombie apocalypse on a beach. Just
I
it
loved Dead
worked
Island,
so
guys.
well.
So much.
Going back into the hotel.
It was one of my favorite video game experiences when it first came out.
It's like it's interesting about the definitive edition. I wish I'd known this earlier because there was a sale on Steam.
$40.
I just bought the original for like $6. The original Dead
it's
Island.
$40. And apparently they.
What's in it? Like that would is that?
Well, Dead Island, then Dead Island Riptide.
Oh, it comes with both. All right.
And also there's a third game. It's a side-scrolling Dead Island game.
Yeah.
I don't know why they added it. It's kind of interesting. They just happened to produce it. And
Well,
just
this
put it in
isn't.
there,
That
but-
was in the second Riptide.
No, it was brand new.
Why do I? There's a different game that did that then maybe.
No, yeah. I know nothing about it.
There's
All I-
another game, the same exact thing. It released like 2D top-down versions of the levels of
Oh,
like
I
the
didn't
real
know that.
game. I'm trying to remember
No,
what it was.
but I wouldn't mind playing Definitive Edition because Dead Island, probably one of the worst things about it was its bugs. So,
Yes.
so to have a more refined version of it, I would be interested. And it's a great co-op experience.
I love Dead Island.
And playing it fresh is so much fun rather than
It's
playing with it.
probably my second favorite zombie game.
When those infected run at you I was in I think the hotel was like one of the first quote unquote dungeons in the game.
Yeah.
God, it was just so good. It was so
It's
good.
great,
I
man.
had such a great time playing it.
It was just a little wonky.
those who
a little
haven't-
wonky on the story.
Yeah, well, the story, you don't play Dead Island for the story.
No.
Because
Wait, did we just leave everyone there?
if Dead Island was any indication
It's
of
such
the
a bad
quality of story that you're getting, I mean,
Which is hysterical because I don't think anyone got more excited over a trailer in their lives than the Dead Island original trailer.
everybody loved that
played in
trailer.
reverse.
That was a great trailer.
I watched it and I was like, oh, this is gonna be.
What was the song again?
This is gonna be a great story.
The
and then I got into the game and I'm like, this is still fun, but like,
Yeah, Dying Light, even that wasn't the best story, but it was better. It was.
I liked how you could go outside
liked
the
the
hotel and
characters
find
more.
that girl though.
What?
Like in the girl in the trailer, the little girl who dies in the trailer by getting thrown out the window.
In the very beginning, I
In
think.
the Dead Island trailer,
Yeah.
you can walk up and find her body in the game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a fun little Easter
didn't
egg.
know
where I
that.
was like, and you look up and the window's broken.
Because
you're
you
like,
start in that hotel in the very beginning,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Let's take one more quick break since we're
Okay.
winding down real quick. When we come back, we got a few more things to talk about, including Long Island Comic Con, which is coming up very soon. And we'll be talking about that and a bunch
Wait,
of other
Long
things.
Island Comic Con?
Eternal Con, you've been there.
Oh, jeez.
You've
okay.
been. You were there last year
yeah,
for us.
Yeah,
We'll talk about
That's when I
that.
didn't interview China Doll.
Yes, and everyone in the world has never let you forget that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that and a few more things
Rest in
wrapping
peace.
up the show when we come back, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
It's real life.
Real life.
Surreal.
Getting in the way again.
Hey guys, this is Kyle Melnick, and you're watching.
Save or continue? I think it's Soar. It's Andor. Is there an ampersand in there? Ampersand. Yeah.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
Village Music Shop of Master. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
That boy.
Boy,
That boy.
that boy.
Come that boy.
Hey, we're back. Hi, Bonnie. I was saying hi to you. Hi. It's 7:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're wrapping up the show right now. We've got a couple minutes left. We'll get through some quick points and stuff. Long Island Comic Con, aka Eternal Con, is happening not this weekend, next weekend at the Cradle of Aviation in Long Island. We were there last year. Fantastic, covering some of the stuff. We will be there again this year. So if you are a person watching from New York or in that vicinity, it's fun. It's really cool. You were there last year. How was it?
It was fun. I met some good people. Yeah, it was really one of my first conventions, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've been to one years ago, but I forget what it even was. But it was cool. I enjoyed it. It was my first interviewing experience. So
Yeah.
it didn't quite start as smoothly as I would have
You know
liked
what we'll
it
do?
to.
We'll show some of that
No,
next week
the good stuff.
because because we have a show Thursday and then
Right.
it's that weekend.
Not a bad idea.
So
show the good stuff.
we'll show some clips from last. Yeah,
good-
Levy
the
had to
good-
edit
the
a bunch
good
of it.
clips,
I had-
please.
I had Levy
When I
edit a
started
bunch
to
of
get-
them,
When I started to get the ball rolling.
and he just turns to me and goes, "Is this his first time?" And I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, really? Oh, okay." Well, there you go.
Yeah,
It's
very
good.
good.
It's good footage.
Yeah.
I like the cosplay interviews you do.
That was the worst.
So it's
No, it got better as it went on.
What was it?
The
You
first-
like-
No, the first one was the worst. It was the Kill Girl. And I knew
There
nothing
was
about the
there was
anime.
one lady where it's like, so you're on this show, yada yada, and you were like, oh, never seen it. It was just.
Oh, Farscape. Yo, the chick from Farscape. I never seen Farscape, but it was I don't know.
She goes, I'm the character from Farscape, yada yada. And he goes,
terrible.
oh, cool. I've never seen it.
And
anyway,
yeah,
it
whatever.
just continues. We'll have to show that one.
No, don't, please.
Oh my
For the
God,
love
we
of
have
God,
to.
don't do it.
Come on,
No,
I've shown
no,
incredibly
it was
embarrassing
terrible.
things on
It
here.
was absolutely terrible.
Anyway, we'll be there. It's awesome. New York and Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday. We'll probably be there for Saturday because that's the big day. It's one of the bigger Long Island conventions. We've been to a bunch of them. DerpyCon and a bunch of other stuff. Eternal Con is actually, it's obviously not as big as New York Comic Con, but I think it's worthy of the title of a Long Island Comic Con.
It was cool.
It was really cool. This year they're getting bigger and bigger too. This year they're gonna have some good stuff. Karen Gillan of Doctor Who is gonna be there. Love her. She's the current companion of the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, my series.
You know what I'm thinking?
She's the redhead.
Since
She's also in Guardians of the Galaxy. Sorry.
I didn't realize it was coming up so soon. Do you think I should get the Mugen costume?
We already got our costume. So long as you're using the Teletubby one for.
Well, that's for Comic-Con. I'm talking about for.
If I had my way, we'd all get this stuff before Eternal Con, and we'd do a test run to add Eternal Con.
Add Eternal Con?
Yeah, but I mean that's hundreds of dollars. We got some big cosplay plans for Comic Con that we will. You know what? I'm hoping maybe the show before we go to Comic Con, we'll wear them onto the show.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
All right,
I could
sure.
do 1 hour in that outfit. I think it could last so long. It'd be a good
Drink, too.
test for
We should
Comic Con.
definitely drink.
Anyway, Karen Gillan from Doctor Who will be there. The original Power Rangers cast will be there. iDrift, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Frankie turns up the cringe to 11 on interviews. Hey!
It's Mike.
I know.
I hate you.
That's why he knew. I was like, we
Yeah,
didn't show
I'm
any of
like,
those
I know
interviews.
that
How do
name.
you know? Oh, he just knows you're a cringy individual. That's great. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. You always come in
He's the coolest guy I know. I mean, he knows
right
I'm the
when we
coolest
leave.
guy.
He's not that cool because he shows up minutes
No,
before we leave.
Mike is one of the cooler people.
If you're really cool, you'll show up earlier. And then this is my favorite part specifically. The voice actors of the original Sailor Moon will be there as well, including, I know you're going to love this,
Tuxedo Mask!
Tuxedo Mask. Frankie gets to meet Tuxedo
Start with that
Mask.
clap in the mic.
Would you call him a mini idol, mini hero, inspiration to you?
That's my reason for living.
Reason for living?
Yeah.
Good Lord. Anyway.
Why, wait, Tuxedo Mask. Why didn't I just choose Tuxedo Mask?
Tuxedo Mask. Oh, Tuxedo
Yeah,
Mask.
Rowdy's gonna be Hellsing. I'll be Tuxedo Mask.
No, we got our. I know you want the faceless costume. I know you
Yeah.
do, but just imagine expressionless
No, I'll do Tuxedo Mask another year.
Tubbies. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Teletubbies. Not an insult. Sorry, I had
girl.
work. It's cool, Jeff. I can't stay mad at you, man. Anyway, was there anything else you want to wrap up today? I mean,
There's
we got
nothing.
through
I'm pretty
most
dry
of
this
it.
week, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going back home to play some more PlanetSide too.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I will hopefully get around to.
Oh, Overwatch.
Far Harbor.
Are you interested in all at Overwatch?
Overwatch?
Because I'm a second from picking it up. I really want to.
I respect Overwatch. I think it looks cool. I love the character design. I love how it's a character-driven game. But to be honest, I'm not really looking to play competitive shooters right now. If anything, I'd rather just be alone, single-player experience, co-op experience. I'm not really in the mood for a competitive, Team Fortress style kind of game.
Neither am I. I think this is one of the games that would, in the few times I would want to play a competitive shooter, this would at least be like enough of a middle ground for me because it's got some very colorful characters and the heroes. I want a cartoon. I want an Overwatch cartoon. The characters are so cool.
I got the next best thing for you, Kyle.
Oh, okay.
Head to YouPorn and search
Jesus.
Overwatch.
We can't
and you'll
say that.
And you'll have it all you want.
Oh, man.
Wait, was that a curse?
No, I gotta bleep that though.
Oh.
Anyway, why is it on there?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Oh, well.
Because the tracer and the pose and everything, where they had to change it.
All right,
'cause it was
let
too
me put it this way.
provocative.
So
Keep it PG.
The characters, it's PG.
What a terrible way to end the show.
It's PG-13. The characters from Overwatch were a week I think into the release of the game. They pretty much had, I think, hundreds of pretty character porn.
Okay.
And it was pretty bad, and it's a great representation.
Rule 38, man.
It's a great 30. It's 34 first of all, and it's a great representation of the great gaming community. Idrift says Frankie and RX 480 get it and join the PC Master Race for $200. I just bought a laptop and I'm not using it for gaming. So
PC
I'm
Master
sorry.
Race and he buys a laptop.
I got a laptop.
That sentence was hysterical right there. Actually, I just got a laptop. That's like as bad as saying I got a Mac for gaming.
Business. I just don't have any desire. I have no desire.
You have no desire to play the obvious choice for high quality gaming, performance, and experience wise.
I have simple taste.
The pinnacle
I'm a simple man.
of
I have simple
interactive
taste.
entertainment. You don't
We'll
want
see.
that?
It'll happen eventually. When I'm done hustling, I'll definitely.
All the consoles are even heading in that like the PlayStation Neo and the new Xbox One with like upgrades and stuff. They're
PlayStation Neo, is that the actual name?
No, that's the code name for it.
Okay.
Even the consoles are heading in this like PC hardware release style
See,
format.
Blood
which
gets
is
it.
great.
Ever watch hentai is too funny.
He's good at emoticons. He nails it. I'm excited. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be. What'd you say? Nothing. And we will be streaming throughout the week as well on Twitch and over here at Inravio.com/live. So be sure you're visiting us. Follow us at Facebook.com/Save and Continue Show. On Twitter at Inravio or at Chainsaw Academy. On YouTube/Inravio or YouTube/Chainsaw Academy. And we'll be back next week. If you're going to be in New York or Long Island the next coming weeks, head to Eternal Con. It's freaking awesome. Come say hi to us. We'll be there all day. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.